Hi, guys. We are now moving into chapter 12. So I have the webcam going now, not that it really matters that much, but this is the book that I've been using. If you're at all curious, and the guy who wrote it, or one of the guys, is that Dave Ramsey guy who we watched some videos by. So just to give you some perspective of, what we're looking at or whatever. So blah, 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 blah. I looked through one. I thought it said careers and Texas. No, it says careers and taxes. Weird. Okay, so we're going to talk about the next chapter I chose is the one that's about giving. And I know that you guys probably don't feel like you're in a position where you can give money away at this point. And I totally understand that. But what I hope is that as you grow and hopefully save and do the right things with your money, that you end up in a position to be able to give. And even if it's not, millions and millions of dollars, and it doesn't have to wait also until you're older and you think you have enough money. Like we said in the last chapter, you're never going to have enough money in your own mind. You're always going to feel like you want more, and that's okay. That's the American way. We're always striving for more, not necessarily things, but more comfort, more whatever, more adventure. But because we're never going to be to the point where we have enough money in our own minds, enough money, giving now is just as important as giving when you feel like you're comfortable financially. Giving now, just a little bit, is actually really impactful, not just for the person that you give to, but often for yourself. I don't know if any of you've given to a charity before or given to a friend without any expectation in return. If that friend is in need, not like, hey, go buy a Pepsi. It actually really shapes the way you feel and the way you present yourself to the world. So anyway, I thought it's one thing we have not talked about at all. So I thought this would be a good thing, a good topic to really kind of end the year with. So here's the video, or here's the information. So this is Monday. So we are going to use these 3 pages. I have them in front of me that I'll be going through. And if you're in school, you'll have this in your little binder thing. And if you're home, you'll be going through them on here, and I'll be going through them myself. And then you're going to fill out the work in classwork just like you were doing last week. So let's start with this first page. Oh, wait, how do I see it? There we go. Okay, so the section 1 of this chapter is called False Perceptions. And it's really hard to see what's in here. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better. But it says, you give but little when you give of your possessions. It's when you give of yourself that you truly give, which is kind of a funny quote to put in here because I'm going to talk about giving of your possessions, or at least of your money. So section 1, false perceptions. And one false perception that we want to talk about is the idea of I'm just one person. So like what I do doesn't matter. So let's talk about that. Okay, so first he does say this is called the 5th foundation, building wealth and giving. So there's a lot of things that come before giving, but I still feel like it's an important thing to discuss. And we've discussed all the things that come before, all of the saving, how to save, what to do with your money, and all of that stuff. So now hopefully we've gotten to the idea that like we understand how to save. Now what do we do when we feel like we're starting to become more comfortable? So it's hard to see. I'm going to read it from here. You've made it to the end of your personal finance course. We've taught you how to save, to budget, to avoid debt, to invest, and to give. Well, that's really what this chapter is all about. If you follow the principle we've taught you, you will achieve wealth. That is so exciting. But managing money just isn't about just wealth. Remember, we said that money is like a mirror. It reflects what's important to the person who holds it. We can't complete a course on personal finance without talking about the joy and value of helping others. So we often hear about people who are hurting, families with no food, adults with no homes, kids with no parents, right? Some of us have lived that situation or are currently living that situation. But for those that are not living that situation and have a little something to give, if you have a little bit of love in your life and you feel like maybe I can help someone else feel a little bit better. In these moments, our world can seem so big. We can think, I wish I could do something. But at the same time, realize I am just one person. Okay, so we're going with this idea that, you're just one person. Well, what does that mean? Can you still have an influence? The good news is you can make a huge difference in the life of someone else, even if your action is small. One of the most important and rewarding things you can do is give. Again, I know half of you are going like, oh my God, I'm not giving away my money. I've worked too hard for it. But consider it. Let your mind be open as we talk about this stuff. Giving money away produces more joy than anything money can buy. That's a huge statement right there. And I can tell you from experience that that is true. Just try it. Try it. Have you ever gone through Starbucks and paid for the person behind you? Try it. It's kind of amazing. Have you ever made cookies and just like deliver them to the gas station attendant? Just try it. See what happens. See how it makes you feel. You're doing something for someone else, but you're going to be amazed by what it actually does for you. Time spent helping and serving others can be just as meaningful. You might be only one person, but you can make a difference. Okay, so let's talk. What the world says about you. Maybe you're already wanting to help others, but you're just not sure how to go about it. You might even feel okay not helping because it doesn't seem like you can afford it, right? That's most of us. You'll give when you're older, when you've got a bigger bank account. That's when you'll really be able to make a difference anyway. I can tell you I am stable and happy and I have children and I have a house and all that stuff. And I still feel like I'm only one person, but that's okay. Pardon me. What I can give is proportional to what I have. So it's more than what you guys are going to be able to give. But I'm not changing anyone's life. I'm not going in and buying someone a house. I don't have that kind of money. But the small amounts that I give and the things that I do make an impact. And they also make a huge impact on me. The fact is, you can get started right away with what you've got now. That means if you're working, you can use a portion of your money to benefit someone else. Even if you don't have money to give, you've still got you. Start with that. Start with what you have today and give of yourself by volunteering your time and talents. Maybe you could I know it's COVID, but COVID's ending, hopefully. Maybe you can read to kids at a library. Maybe you can help your friend study for their test. Maybe you can teach your friend how to drive. All different kinds of things that you can do to help somebody else. To do that, first you'll need to know what matters to you. The quote up here says, some people give time, some money, some their skills and connections, some literally give their life's blood, but everyone has something to give. That's a really great point. Give blood. Have you ever done that before? COVID hasn't made it so easy, but you guys are old enough now. Go give blood. It's an extremely empowering and heartwarming experience if you've never done it before. It costs nothing. Okay, continue what the world says about you. At times, our culture can send you the message that as a teen, all you really care about is your cell phone, music, and hanging out with friends. You might be saying, yeah, that is right. That's all I care about. But take a little time and think about what more you have to offer. You might begin to feel like, is that it? Is that who I am? You mistake society's portrayal of teenagers as your own reflection. What does that sentence mean? You mistake society's portrayal of teenagers as your own reflection, meaning, we see all the time, oh, teenagers, they don't care about anything. Is that who you start to become? Pull back from that and become who you want to become, not who society says teenagers are. I'm a teacher because I know you're more than that, because I see it every day. And because I know you're more than that, I know you're capable of so much empathy and compassion and kindness. And I know that at the core, all of you want to do more and be more than just a teenager who spends all of his or her time on their phone and caring only about yourself. I know it. I know that's who you all are because I know you. So don't be fooled. The reality is you are unique. Begin the process of discovering the real you. We're talking about your heart, your interests, your passions, the things that make you, you. But before you can help others, you've got to know your own values, the things that matter most to you. So knowing your own value will help you select an organization or charity to serve. You can even go and I've made meals at Cathedral Kitchen in Camden. You guys are old enough now. You could call them and volunteer. You go in, I forget what nights it is of the week, and it's awesome. You don't prepare the food. There's chefs that do that, but you help serve the food, and it's an amazing experience. It's just a couple hours of your time. You may not have a steady income in your life right now, but that doesn't mean you have nothing to offer. Giving can be in the form of time, money, or abilities. So the last thing I want you to do is, what do you value the most? So there's a list here. Take a minute and circle 10 qualities that mean the most to you. If you're home, you're not going to necessarily circle 10. This isn't easy to write on. We're going to take that 10 and tell me what your top 3 are. So what are the most important qualities to you from the list below? Respectful, trustworthy, accountability, loyal. What qualities do you want to define who you are? Not who society thinks you are or puts out there that teenagers are, but who you actually are. So do that today, and we'll pick back up here tomorrow.